Right now at 10, La Crosse hopes to cut down on the number of people living homeless by giving landlords a financial safety net. And an emotional day in a Waukesha courtroom as witnesses testify about the Christmas parade tragedy. Plus, a benefit concert aims to help veterans with PTSD live their lives to the fullest.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Amy is off tonight. La Crosse's new Landlord Mitigation program aims to get unsheltered people into private housing. If a landlord agrees to house someone who is homeless, the city will make up to $5,000 available to the landlord if the renter damages the unit or if the renter stops paying rent. The renter will also be in constant contact with a support service provider to help with renter and landlord communication. Support service providers have to agree to meet with the renters at least once a month. The hope is that landlords will be more willing to rent to people who might have had a bad rental history.
We know a lot of people who are experiencing homelessness have different barriers to housing opportunities. And so this is a way to mitigate some of the risk, whether that be real or perceived, to landlords.
The program is available for up to 10 people or families. Funding for the program will come from the La Crosse Community Foundation. And landlords must own property in the city of La Crosse. We'll post more information, including on how to sign up, on news8000.com. According to online court records, La Crosse Assemblywoman Jill Billings still owes the state more than $10,000 in unpaid income taxes, interest, and penalties. The Department of Revenue filed a lien against Billings back in January and then a tax warrant in June. Billings staff told News 8 Now her taxes were paid late due to a mistake, but that she has paid the bill in full. By law, the Department of Revenue can't confirm that, so we asked Billings to provide her own proof, and we haven't heard back. La Crosse attorney Galen Pittman specializes in debtor, creditor, and tax law. He says the Department of Revenue normally sends a taxpayer some proof of payment.
The department will send out a satisfaction or release of that lien probably within 10 days to 2 weeks. And they're supposed to send a copy to the taxpayer. When you're paying those taxes, they'll want a cashier's check so that the department can cash that and satisfy that.
So Pittman says based on the January lien date, the tax return at fault is probably from a couple years ago. Billings first won election to Wisconsin's 95th district in 2011. The Democrat represents the city of La Crosse and the towns of Shelby and Campbell. Let's switch it up and talk some weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl. Bill, a lot of sunshine, but a solid breeze today as well.
Yeah, windy for sure, but it was a south wind, so temperatures were quite mild. Check out these highs. 77 here in La Crosse, same with Winona and Eau Claire. 79 in Red Wing, even 80 degrees in Mankato and Minneapolis. 71 in Viroqua and 74 in Prairie du Chien. All is quiet here in La Crosse. Still a breezy evening underway. Just some high and mid-level clouds scattered about. We do have a line of showers and thunderstorms. That's along that cold front that I've been tracking all afternoon and evening. And nothing severe here, just some garden variety showers and a few thunderstorms, especially north and west of the Twin Cities. And this activity will continue to slowly push east overnight. Current temperatures still pretty mild, lower to middle 60s. These would be typical high temperatures for this time of year. So passing clouds overnight, chance for those scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Breezy and mild otherwise. Lows in La Crosse only dipping to about 54. Schoolcast for tomorrow shows a chance for a few lingering showers in the morning, perhaps a few more later in the day into tomorrow evening with cooler highs around 66 degrees. Still rather breezy tomorrow as well. It gets cooler beyond that starting on Thursday. I'll talk details with my 8-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks very much, Bill. Well, emotions ran high in Waukesha court today as more Waukesha Christmas parade witnesses took the stand at Darrell Brooks' trial. Brooks is accused of killing 6 people and injuring dozens more by allegedly driving an SUV through the parade route. The state played audio of the moment the car drove through, and witnesses shared what they personally saw in those moments.
They did stop dancing.
Why?
Because there was a car that drove through.
Now, Brooks is representing himself in this trial. He faces life in prison if convicted on just one of those 6 first-degree intentional homicide charges. The state predicts they'll wrap their case by Friday morning, and Brooks will then call his witnesses. The La Crosse County Sheriff says the deputy accused of flashing an inappropriate gesture violated department policy. At a Judiciary and Law Committee meeting today, Sheriff Jeff Wolf released the results of an outside investigation that found no information to suggest Deputy Brandon Penscover made the gesture with racist intentions. However, the sheriff says Penscover did violate policies related to the department's Code of Ethics and Standards of Conduct. As News 8 Now first reported in July, the Sheriff's Department posted a photo of his staff at Country Boom. In it, Deputy Penskover is making the OK gesture, which the Southern Poverty Law Center says has been used by white supremacists. After public criticism, the sheriff took the photo down and asked Dane County to investigate. He says that agency did not discover any racist intent. Penskover told investigators he was playing a game he learned from his sons. County board supervisors who attended today's meeting say they're disappointed in the sheriff's response and that officers should have enough race and bias training to know about possibly racist hand gestures.
I was disappointed to hear that the sheriff doesn't think that there was community outrage over this. There was plenty of community outrage, and the fact that he has not reached out to those groups is disappointing.
It's our responsibility to be educated on how our symbols will be construed by other people. We don't make the meaning of messages ourselves. The meaning is made in the communication, and so it's important to understand how different communities will respond to what we do and what we say.
Sheriff Wolf declined to speak on camera. He did say during the meeting that he has not had any people of color come forward to him to say they felt hurt by the image. Sheriff Wolf did not release any details, but says he disciplined Penskover and took corrective action to prevent this kind of incident from happening again. You can read the sheriff's entire statement at news8000.com. Someone new is about to take the helm at the La Crosse Center. Who is still up for debate? After 22 years as center director, Art Fay is stepping down on October 20th. The city is considering 3 options. 1, hiring a new director to replace Fay. 2, hiring a private company to run the center, or putting together some kind of hybrid agreement. Fay says 4 companies are interested in working with the city. They would take care of some of the center director's existing duties.
What the next steps are going to be after this meeting is to have these people actually interview us and what we want to accomplish, us being the La Crosse Center, what we want to accomplish, and then from there have them come back with a presentation of what their company might do.
The city hasn't set a deadline to make a decision, and in the meantime, current center staff and the city's Parks and Rec director will handle day-to-day tasks. The La Crosse area YMCA is expanding to a 3rd location. The CEO says Ben Thorud, a regular at the Y, donated 6 acres of land for a new facility. Leaders say this new location will help the YMCA recover from the pandemic by encouraging multiple communities to join.
Galesville, Trempealeau, Ettrick, Arcadia, opportunities for them to come down and use a facility at that location.
The YMCA put together a task force to ask the community what they want the new location to include. Soper says there are still many steps to do before they break any ground, including fundraising. Several performing groups lent their voices tonight to help a national effort to stop veterans with PTSD from committing suicide. The Veterans of Foreign Wars is partnering with Warfighter Advance to raise money to give those who serve our country a chance at a high quality of life when they return. Holman High School's Concert Choir, GET's Vocal Point, and West Salem High School Vivace offered performances along with a nationally renowned singing quartet of veterans and active duty Army individuals. Warfighter Advance's chairman lost his best friend to suicide. He says veterans deserve help from the people that they protect.
It's less than 0.5% of our population serves that protects all of our freedoms. We owe it to them. We owe them a debt of gratitude, and we owe it to them to help them live a high quality life.
He says the fundraising goal is $400,000. As of yesterday, he says they were at $263,000. The benefits proceeds will be split 50-50 between the Wisconsin Department of VFW and Warfighter Advance, and they'll go directly toward PTSD programs. For the 2nd year, families gathered in La Crosse's Burns Park for a fall celebration. Everyone enjoyed live music, yoga, and games. And Brutus the therapy pig made a visit. And of course, everyone got to carve some pumpkins. 40 pumpkins were donated to the event by Larson's General Store. Event organizers say it's more fun with friends.
You know, pumpkin carving is always fun every year, but I think there's something really special about coming together in a group to do it with a bunch of friends, some who you've never met before. I think last year we saw kids kind of meet each other while they were carving their pumpkins, and then the next thing you know, they're playing on the playground together.
The Downtown Neighborhood Association got some help from the Public Library, La Crosse's Parks and Rec, and multiple businesses for this event. Organizers hope to bring the popular event right back next fall. Still ahead, an animal welfare case hits the Supreme Court. Justices are hearing arguments on a California proposition about meat production. And later, keeping traditions in the family. The cranberry harvest is underway on thousands of acres of Wisconsin farms.
When all is said and done, here's 3 things to remember. 1. Only Tim Michaels would ban abortion in cases of rape or incest and jail doctors who perform them. 2. Only Michaels Family Foundation funded an extremist group that uses cell phone data to track women near abortion clinics. 3. Only Michaels ran a company where women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. The only one with a radical agenda like that is Tim Michaels, and the only one who can stop it is you.
Why are we the clear choice for new windows?
A 5-star customer experience. Our exclusive Weather Guardian installation system ensures your windows are weather tight. Windows installed by factory-trained employees, not subcontractors. Windows that are 1,500% more airtight than industry standards. Foam-filled frames and sashes. The most efficient triple pane glass in the industry.
For a limited time, receive 24 months interest-free financing.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Supreme Court justices will determine the constitutionality of a 2018 California proposition on animal welfare. The National Pork Producers Council has sued over the constitutionality of the law, saying it hurts pig farmers and will make pork more expensive.
Pork producers got their say in front of the Supreme Court Tuesday, challenging a California law that could impact how pigs are raised nationwide.
California, which produces almost zero pork, consumes a tremendous amount of it, is trying to reach out into other states and impose its moral views on other states.
California voters passed Proposition 12, requiring more living space for farm animals eventually sold as food in the state.
This is a law that addresses only the pork that is consumed in the state of California.
Yeah, but the reality is the reason they have this law is, one, because they don't have pork producers in California, so nobody's going to be hurt from that point of view, and two, they want to affect conduct in other states.
The Humane Society has argued the California law is not only about animal welfare, but human health.
We've seen this over and over again. Confining animals in these extreme conditions where they are packed so tightly in spreads viruses, and it makes it more virulent.
This case may have major implications on the Constitution's Commerce Clause. Legal analysts say the High Court's opinion could impact states' ability to regulate other issues as well.
Pork producers argue the added expense to comply with California's law will ultimately get passed on to consumers.
What California will do is force farmers to adopt these standards that are going to raise the price of food for everybody.
It is the right move, and people are willing, even if it has a slight increased cost, initially to change over.
Farmers say the court's ruling could change the industry. A decision is expected by the end of June. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
The Biden administration sided with pork producers and argued against the proposition in court. Well, it is time to get some holiday shopping done early. Amazon is bringing back Prime Day for the second time this year.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Grawl. A strong cold front brings a chance for some rain showers overnight, some much cooler temperatures as well. All the details coming up next.
Ron Johnson and China. Here's how it works. While in the Senate, Johnson made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. He invested in Chinese factories, and Johnson's family business got $50 million in loans from the Bank of China. Johnson pushed for shipping American jobs overseas, while he got rich. Ron Johnson's out for himself, not us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
For your next roofing, window, or bathroom project, don't get caught in a vicious cycle with Bush League contractors. Barrel it up and call your home improvement company today. It's not a stretch to say that your home improvement company is the MVP contractor in Twins territory. Whether your home needs a simple change-up, you're in a pinch for a quick hitter improvement, or you're going for a moonshot remodeling project, your home improvement company is ready to step up to the plate, even if their owner is a bit of a blooper. Hey, I'm just spitballing here.
Meet Brad Path. He never had a job outside of politics. Seriously, he hung around long enough to climb that political ladder. He'll never fix Washington. He won't even try. Me, I spent 26 years fighting for our country. I served as a Navy SEAL, and I know how to get things done. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message. Let's try something different. Let's change the people we're sending to D.C.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Get 2.49% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
I would never bill someone twice for the same job. But Tim Michaels has a record of doing just that. Michaels billed Wisconsin taxpayers twice for the same construction job, totaling $400,000. And you and I paid for it. And once he was caught, Michaels tried to charge the taxpayers an extra $52,000 just to fix it. That's totally dishonest. I never trust anyone like that as governor. Tim Michaels is wrong for Wisconsin.
Visit during the Ford Store's Fall Home Show Open House this week only for special discounts, vendors on site, and refreshments too. Register for prizes and enjoy some treats. We'd love to meet you.
Gig workers could be considered employees under a proposed labor rule set forward by the Biden administration. The proposed rule announced by the Labor Department today would broaden the test that determines whether workers are entitled to protections like minimum wage and overtime pay. Gig workers right now are considered independent contractors. The National Retail Federation opposes the proposed rule, arguing that changes would hurt businesses by driving up costs. For the first time, Amazon is doing its second Prime Day sale of the year. Today and tomorrow, Prime members will find deep discounts on electronics, home products, toys, and clothing. Amazon joins other retailers like Target and Walmart in offering big discounts because of all that extra inventory. And exciting news from NASA. The project that involves slamming a spacecraft into an asteroid was a success. The asteroid orbits another larger space rock once about every 12 hours. Scientists say the impact changed the orbit by 32 minutes. Now, this was just a test. The goal was to shave at least 10 minutes off the asteroid's path. This marks the first mission NASA did with the goal of planetary defense, meaning if an asteroid like this comes toward Earth, scientists hope to knock it out of the way before it enters our atmosphere. All right, let's get a check on little things closer to home in the skies, and for that, Bill Grahl is our man.
Didn't Bruce Willis do that to an asteroid
I think
decades ago or something?
You might be right there.
All right. We're looking at a quiet evening so far here in downtown La Crosse. Kind of breezy, though, and it was a windy day for sure. But since those winds were from the south, it was also a warm day. 77 degrees was the high, 48 the low, so that's 77. 13 degrees above the average high of 64, but the record 86 degrees for the high, 22 the low, and no rainfall yet again. And looking for the month of October, a big goose egg here in La Crosse. So we are already an inch below average for the month and almost 6 inches below average for the year. So the upper Midwest could definitely use some rainfall in most spots. Cloudy in La Crosse, 66 degrees out at the airport, 65 downtown here at the station. Winds still blowing from the south at about 15 to 20, and the Mississippi is rising a bit, 5.08 feet. Good evening to you folks in Eau Claire, 67 degrees with a cloudy sky. A south wind there at about 10. Pressure holding steady and the Chippewa River holding steady as well. Now, current temperatures show where that cold front sits right about here. 40s and 50s behind it, 60s and even some low 70s ahead of it. And south winds continue to keep us on the mild side of things, lower to middle 60s, even at this late 10 o'clock hour. But that cold front is knocking on the door just to our west. And look at this, dew points in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Now, that's not overly humid, especially for the summer months. But for October, dew points in the upper 50s to lower 60s, yeah, that's a tinge on the muggy side for this time of year for sure. All right, there's those southerly winds, 10 to 20, still gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour in some spots. And if you notice right about here where those winds are coming together from the south and from the northwest, that's where the front sits, right about from Mankato up to Minneapolis. And right along that front is where we're seeing those scattered showers and a few thunderstorms as well. Most of the thunder activity right now north of the Twin Cities, nothing severe. And I think the severe threat tonight is pretty minimal as this cold front continues to track to the east. We'll continue to see those kind of scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight. and into tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be one of those scenarios where all of us get rainfall, as these showers and thunderstorms will be kind of hit and miss, about 40, maybe 50% coverage. Into tomorrow morning, some lingering showers, then some midday sunshine, and then a slight chance for some additional showers later in the day and into tomorrow evening as cooler air continues to flow in. In fact, look at this, even some flurries trying to mix in with some sprinkles to the north and east on Thursday. Rain tracker, not all that impressed, 1/10 of an inch or less for most. If you find yourself under a thunderstorm, maybe a little bit more rainfall. Now, it will be cooler tomorrow, lower to middle 60s for highs. Right around 65 or 66 in the Crosse. Low to mid 60s down to the south as well. More of the same as we head back to the north. So definitely cooler than today and still kind of breezy tomorrow. Highs on either side of 60 for Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls. So 54 tonight. That chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, still breezy. 66 tomorrow, breezy and cooler. Slight chance of showers and cooler still for Thursday. Look at that, 52. A few sprinkles, especially north and east. Low to mid 50s Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Slight chance of a shower on Sunday, even chillier next Monday and Tuesday. Highs only in the upper 40s and with overnight lows in the low to mid 30s, even some 20s in some spots. I think we're about done with the frost and freeze alerts and the growing season. It's just that time of year to kind of look towards the winter months ahead.
All right. Thanks very much, Bill. Coming up next in sports, the Holman volleyball team is looking to add another conference win against Logan tonight. Plus, the Central boys soccer team could be a conference leader with a win tonight against Toma. Find out if they could get it done next.
News 8 Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Whether you need routine care or treatment for a complex condition, Mayo Clinic Health System has convenient and safe options for the care you and your family need.
Tim Michael's company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Don't like paying taxes? Neither does Mandela Barnes. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes he owed. Barnes failed to pay his taxes, but he wants you to pay more. He supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, even though we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. And he supported $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families and an income tax as high as 70%. Mandela Barnes, another tax-raising, hypocritical politician. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Start earning more for your money. At River Bank, we make it easy with our rewards checking. With a $50 minimum deposit, you can start earning a super rate of interest on your checking deposits. If you like the convenience of a debit card and direct deposit, River Bank's rewards checking is for you. There's no minimum balance or monthly service fees. Stop into one of our many locations across the Cooley region or visit us online to learn more. River Bank, local banking made simple and rewarding. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a pattern we can't ignore. Multiple women accuse cop Dave Estenson of abusing the badge, trying to coerce them into sex acts for years. They said Estenson asked teens for sexual favors to avoid underage drinking citations and threatened to plant evidence on one teen if she told anyone. Still another teen said Estenson sexually assaulted her. He couldn't be trusted as a police officer, and he can't be trusted as state senator.
Did you know Tim Michaels wants to criminalize abortion, even for pregnant rape victims?
But are you willing to support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
With just one game left in the boys' soccer regular season, the La Crosse Central Riverhawks have 9 wins, 4 draws, and no losses. Tonight they put their undefeated season on the line as they were hosting the Toma Timberwolves. A win or tie for Central would also make them outright MVC champs, but early on it was Toma dominating the match. Ty Richer, dribbling past the Riverhawk defense, shoots a laser towards the net, hits the top corner for a goal. What a goal. Let's take one more look at it. Just too good. What a goal. Riverhawks trying to work a comeback here, though. Devin Wilkerson dribbling up the field. He crosses it over. That's Landon Larson who kicks it in to tie it up. The team was loving it. That's how this one would end. But with that, the Riverhawks are MVC champs and finish the regular season without a loss, a season that the guys will remember forever.
It's a great feeling, you know, a couple ties here and there, but no losses. You know, last year, it's just a great way to end the year. We got to stay locked in, focus up at practices. Some of our practices tend to get, a little rough, a little rowdy. We just got to focus up and be prepared for games to come.
All right, let's hit the volleyball court. MVC clash tonight at Logan High. Rangers hosting conference leader Holman. Let's pick it up in the first. Vikings up 3. The freshman Charlie Casey says not today. She gets the block. Holman goes up by 4. It's a 6-point lead now for the Vikings, but Logan hanging in there. Jazzy Davis going up high for one of her 10 kills on the night. That cuts it back to 5. But the Vikings pulling away. Emma Anderson with the set. And it's the junior Izzy Jar dropping one in. She had 7 kills in this one. Set point for Holman. And it's the senior Kyla Krisnovich. Great court vision, tapping it into no man's land. Vikings take the first set 25-20. Second set, Davis trying to keep her squad in it. She slams home another kill. That makes it 15-9 Holman. But the Vikings showing why. They're atop the MVC, and it's Krisnovich again. A game-high 13 kills for the senior. Holman improves to 11-1 in conference play as the Vikings get the 3-set sweep. But how about Onalaska tonight? The Hilltoppers with an impressive win at home. They sweep second-place Aquinas 3-0. Haley Kopelke, 13 kills for Onalaska. The Hilltoppers improve to 7-4 in MVC play. Well, it's the final week of the regular season for Wisconsin high school football, and it's the biggest. We got some rivals going head-to-head, and when it comes to West Salem and Aquinas, this one is about more than just a rivalry or bragging rights. A Cooley Conference title is on the line. For the Panthers, they haven't lost since week 1. They fell to Onalaska on opening night, 14-13. But since then, West Salem has reeled off 7 straight wins. The Panthers have dominated the competition. They're perfect in the Cooley Conference, and now comes their biggest test. It's a game they've had in the back of their minds all season, and now it's finally here. A conference clash against rival Aquinas. Panthers have done everything they could since week 1 to get to this point, and now it all comes down to Friday night.
Our theme this week is making memories, and having this last regular season scheduled game, for our seniors, that's a big deal. In terms of where we're at with Aquinas, they understand the gravity of that game on Friday, and we just need to funnel that into their preparation this week and be in a spot where we can let the reins go on Friday night.
We've been anticipating this since week 1, I'd say, and we just knew we had to win every other game, and then we had to take it one game at a time. And this week, now we can focus on what we've been preparing for all year.
Panthers and Blue Golds Friday night at UWL for the Cooley Conference title. All right, the votes are in. Our latest News 8 Now Play of the Week goes to the Westby volleyball team. What a season it's been for the Norse. Another win tonight over Arcadia in 3 sets. Westby improving to 28-1 on the year, a perfect 11-0 in conference play. That'll do it for sports. We'll be right back.
When Kenosha burned, Tony Evers fanned the flames.
He blamed police. When we needed help, he refused. For days.
I know.
Because we were there.
Evers puts politics over our lives.
Over your lives. That's why we support Tim Michaels.
As a veteran, Tim Michaels won't abandon us.
Tim Michaels will have our back.
And stand strong against violent crime.
We're with Tim.
Expand your outdoor living space with our huge selection of landscape blocks from Menards. Get a free estimate instantly with our Design and Buy landscaping program. From patios, retaining walls, fire pits, and more, you can design the landscape of your dreams for free. Visit the store or Menards.com to get started on your next project today. Right now, save 11% on everything. Only at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson. I'm Sheriff Eric Severson. We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes. Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
I'm a veteran. I know what it looks like to love your country, and this isn't it. Derek Van Orden was on the Capitol grounds on January 6th. He broke past the police barricades and was part of a riot that injured over 100 cops. And some of them ended up dying. Now he wants us to believe he's a patriot? Mr. Van Orden, patriots defend their country. They don't try to burn it down.
I'm Brad Paff, and I approve this message.
The great experiences you have in here and even out here all started here. Because the best customer experience always leaves a great impression. GMC, awarded #1 in sales satisfaction by J.D. Power. Sierra models are arriving weekly at your local GMC dealers, available for immediate delivery with 0% financing. We are professional grade GMC.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
It's no wonder Wisconsin state fruit is a cranberry. Monroe County alone is home to thousands of acres on family farms. Our own Emily Haugen introduces us to a family carrying on cranberry traditions from their great-great-great-grandparents.
A lot of really rich cranberry history is in the Warrens area.
When your business is growing, it grows with you.
I started mowing lawns and doing kind of the easier stuff like that, probably 10, 11.
Amber Bristow is a fifth-generation cranberry farmer. She has it down to a science.
Cranberries are a low-running plant. They grow in a very sandy, acidic soil.
Cranberries don't grow in water, but that's how they're harvested.
During harvest, I'm, if you want to say, the water guy. I move water mostly during harvest.
Year after year.
Farmers never really retire, especially if they've been here their entire lives.
Amber's husband, Dan, never planned to be a farmer.
I went to school for a long time in college, but I learned all that book stuff, but learning farming is something completely different.
It was a shock that is sweetened over time.
It's a great place to be, and I think, again, anyone that is introduced to it can understand why we've stuck around for so long.
In Warrens, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
Amber and Dan have a 14-month-old son. Dan says he'll get out to help on the farm as soon as he can hold the weed whacker. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
January 6th, Derek Van Orden and an angry mob march on the Capitol.
The Capitol, that's where we're headed to right now.
Break through police barricades.
Derek Van Orden, he and a bunch of his frogman buddies are on the wall.
And break the law.
Since January 6th, Derek Van Orden has lied about where he was.
And deleted an online post to hide what he did.
Liar, lawbreaker.
Don't vote for Derek Van Orden.
Center Forward Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Cracks in brick, cracks in block? Call American Waterworks. Leaning or bowing basement walls? Call American Waterworks. Sticking windows or doors? Call American Waterworks. Settling or sinking foundation? That's right. Call American Waterworks. It's a fact. Foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call American Waterworks. Call American Waterworks today.
Punishing inflation, retirement savings evaporating, home values crashing, and Mandela Barnes is oblivious. Barnes just supported a massive tax increase on middle-class families and an army of IRS agents to go get every penny. Barnes also supported Biden's student loan forgiveness plan that cost every taxpayer $2,000. $2,000 less to survive on. Can you afford Mandela Barnes? Wisconsin Truth Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's Ford SUV season. Time to gear up for changing conditions on and off-road. Get great deals on our most capable lineup of Ford SUVs, including Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Both rated 2022 IIHS top safety picks, and both designed to give you greater confidence. Hurry, Ford SUV season will end soon. Now, for a limited time, get $500 retail order bonus cash on a 2022 Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport, only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Well, if you want some rain for your area, cross your fingers and your toes as this line of showers and thunderstorms coming through will be rather broken, so not everybody's going to see it. 54 for the low. Breezy and cooler tomorrow. Still a slight chance of showers in the morning. Could see a few more later in the day. Highs around 66. 52 on Thursday. Look at that, upper 40s to low 50s through next week.
It'll be a chill in the air.
A little different.
Thanks, Bill. And thank you for watching Tonight at 10. We'll see you tomorrow.